Hello? I was nervous there for a minute. I thought this wasn't working. I hope it's live now. Hello? My name is Cristi. I hope you can all hear me. This microphone is maybe not loud enough. Here we go. And if you can hear me, say it in the chat. Let me know where you're from. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. This is a different from last week when we talked all about Descript. Today we're going to talk about Camtasia. And I really just had a question. Why does everybody launch stuff in June? I mean, yesterday, Descript and Camtasia at the same time. A couple of weeks from now, there's going to be Riverside with a bunch of announcements and lots of other companies just announcing stuff in June. What's wrong with June? I mean, what happened to Christmas stuff? Just launch stuff at Christmas. So anyway, if you're using all these software, all these programs, it can be difficult to decide what to do, what to cover first, what to test first, what videos to record first, all those things. So anyway, today, yes, we are going to be talking about Camtasia 2024. And it seems like every year this Camtasia gets delayed even more. It used to be April, and then it one time went in August, and now back in June. Anyway, so I was waiting for this version for a long time, and I was part of the testing team as well. So we testing team. I say team. It's not really a team. I was part of the testers, so we could see some of the features in advance and test them and provide feedback on them. And then we were kind of left in a bit of a blur. We didn't know when it was going to launch. So anyway, yesterday was the day. And today I'm going to just walk you through the new stuff, the most notable new stuff, because there's a lot of, I call it a little fluff. There's a lot of stuff in there that is not really crucial, like new functionality, whatever. There's a bunch of new assets in the library and all those things, but not really functionality-wise. There's not so much. There are a few important things that I really want to show you, and they're great. And in some respects, Camtasia, I think, is catching up to other tools, including like Descript. They're catching up to them, and you'll see how, and probably you've heard the news by now. But anyway, I'm just going to walk you through all of those. So let me know where you're from in the chat. If you are a subscriber or not, let me know. I'm curious where everybody is from. And let's go. Let's start. So one of the first things that I got a question today from someone. They were saying, "Oh, I thought you were not using Camtasia anymore. You were not doing Camtasia anymore, just Descript." That's not true. I use Camtasia every day, and I use it for specific types of projects like courses. All of my courses are created, recorded, and edited in Camtasia. And in my opinion, the Camtasia recorder is really one of the best to record your screen with. And it's, the right tool for the job. I do tutorials, I do courses, I do sales videos, presentations for my clients. And then, I use Descript for other things like podcasting and interviews and collaboration with my clients in podcast episodes, that kind of thing, transcription, subtitles, all those are done in Descript. And I also use DaVinci Resolve. I use that for multi-camera interviews, that kind of thing. I use Premiere as well. After Effects, the right tool for the job in the end. You don't have to commit to a single tool. That's what I say all the time, just to use whatever's necessary, So, welcome everybody. I see quite a few people in there in the chat. Hello, Steve, Randy, Danny, and Uterpelab. I don't know how to pronounce that. Irma, the instructor, Square Egg, Fast Learner Academy. Hello. Nice to see you in the chat there. Thank you. Feel free to ask your questions in there. I'm going to glance over there every now and then. But let me just sit down. Oh, my head is cut off there at the top. Sorry about that. Just have to move my camera. Oh, well. I guess that's fine. Anyway, so. Hey. Hi, Isaac. Namasivayam. Nice to see you all. Okay. All right. So let's have a look. So the first thing that I want to talk is Camtasia announced in addition to all these new features in this version, they announced there's going to be pricing changes. And, the thing that a lot of people have dreaded, the famous move to subscription model, is happening. So Camtasia still offers that standalone version that you can buy. You buy it once, you have that version, and that's it. If you don't pay the subscription, you're going to continue to have that version, but then you're not going to get the new version when it comes out next year, right? So that's one version you can get. And in addition to that, you can get the maintenance subscription, which is the one where you pay a yearly, like a maintenance fee. I don't even know how much that is now, $50, $60, I can't remember. And I pay that. And if you continue to pay for that every year, you get the new version when it comes up. So I have paid for that for many years now. And there is, of course, now the new subscription model that was announced. And there was this nice video by, I think, Wendy Hamilton from Techsmith, that she was explaining that, of course, moving to a subscription is necessary to become more sustainable and do new stuff. Great. I totally get that. Understand it. And what I liked was, because I was beginning to stress a little bit, because I do like my subscription to the maintenance thing, because it's a low fee that gives you, the new version when it comes out. However, they committed for that for the next 5 years. It's somewhere in the frequent asked questions. For the next 5 years, you can continue to pay for the maintenance plan and you will continue to get the new versions. I'm guessing after those 5 years, people are going to lose access to that, and they will have to move to the subscription model, I suppose. This is to honor existing subscribers. This is how I understand it. And of course, if you do not have the maintenance plan right now, you can still get it. And I think they will allow until October, 1st of October, I think. You can still subscribe to the maintenance plan, and you can keep that, keep renewing that, and you're going to get a significant discount from the actual subscription one that's going to be rolled out. Of course, the subscription one has more options. It's got there's a bundle with Audiate, if you use that for transcription and all those things. And there's a bundle, I think, with the Techsmith assets, clip arts and things like that, and stock media. So all, different models. And, I understand it. Subscription models can be a pain. Yeah, August, I see you there. But it kind of makes sense, because if you're expecting these companies to bring out new features all the time, how are they going to pay for those? I mean, people need to be paid. Developers need to be paid. And I said on Twitter, I hope that this means more features, more often, and more updates, more frequent updates, so you don't have to wait a year for every new feature, every new version coming out, and then you're sitting there waiting. Oh my goodness, such a big version, and then you get like 3 features, 3 new functions. That was my pain anyway. That's my opinion. So I'm going to stop complaining about it now. Hello, August, and yeah. So that's my thing with the pricing. If you can. If you want to and you don't have it, I recommend that you upgrade to the latest version, 2024. And I believe the maintenance plan comes included with that for a year free. So if you buy it now, and by the way, link in the description. That's an affiliate link, by the way. And you have a coupon there, by the way, if you haven't, to get a discount using my coupon code. Just look in the description. Anyway, so that is going to give you free 2025 version also. And you will be able to continue renewing that maintenance for at least 5 years from now, which means you're going to get Camtasia for the next 5 or 6 years with that, the latest version, whatever, without switching to the subscription. So in my opinion, I think that's a very graceful way to upgrade, and a very graceful way to move to a subscription model where you're not just kicking the existing subscribers out the door who've been paying for years, like myself and others, right? So that's the thing, they've made the decision to move to subscription. There you go. But at least you can stay with the maintenance for a while. So that's my update on the pricing. Now let's just move to the new features, and I'm just gonna go through them. If we need an hour, we do. If we don't, we'll finish early. But there's a lot of there's obviously a release document, like a change log, whatever is new and stuff like that. So the new features, there's like 2 or 3 that are really good, really interesting, really nice. The rest are like little modifications of existing stuff, like the Rev thing, which I don't even know how many people use that, but the Rev thing has been improved in a way, and something was added to it. Anyway, so let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at what's new. So let me just share my screen here real quick. Share my screen. Here we go. So this is Camtasia 24. What I like about Camtasia is this. Even though it's been years since I bought the first version, and from version 8 to 9 or something, there's been a significant change in the color scheme and everything and the layout. But really, since then, this interface has remained pretty much the same. So this is great because if you're creating courses and tutorials and things like I do, look at Descript. I mean, they change the interface every few months, and it is incredibly frustrating to have recorded a course or a tutorial or something, or like I do coaching with clients and they come and I teach them stuff, and then a month later they're like, hey, the whole thing changed again. Something's moved again. So it's good that Camtasia kept this interface kind of the same. Yeah, they added little menus here and there, but largely it is the same interface. One nice addition that I've seen this year is the fact that you can reorder these functions here on the sidebar. So if you are using, let's say, media bin a lot, you can just grab it and move it at the top, right? That's, you can move these things up and down. And then the second thing that I use may be animations. You can move that to the top. There you go. So that is nice. At least you can move these things around. They all have keys, by the way. You press R, you go to library, B is the bin and all those things. So if I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts, I don't really care about the order, but if you're like a point and click person, then you can see those. You can reorder them. Now that's one minor thing. So the other thing is, in addition to that, they've improved this Rev functionality, which I don't really use a lot. So if you go to your home menu, you can see here, this is the home screen, and they've got this Rev. If you click to record, you can record something. And if you have that Rev option, I hope it doesn't mess with my camera. I'm not going to press it. I don't want to mess with my camera. It's being used right now in my OBS. But if you record with Rev, they create that thing where it gives you some options for the backgrounds and the corners and functions and filters, and they kind of assemble the project for you. And the change that was added this year, you see right here, it says open file in Camtasia Rev. So what this means is, if I turn on let me just quickly open this and go to a desktop folder that I created. Here we go. All right. Sorry, I was obscuring my desktop for a second there. So if you click that button and you choose an existing video, I'm just going to choose this video here, a tutorial I recorded in the past. Click open. It opens this Rev interface for you with that video. So in the previous version, you had to record the video with this Rev option turned on in order to get this layout presented here, where you can now, choose that video, and you can choose which layout size you want to choose. Like if I want to assemble my video as a vertical one to start with, I can do that, or a landscape. Then you go to layout, you choose. I have to say, these icons at the bottom, they're very hard to figure out what they actually do unless you actually click on them to see what they do, right? So they create little borders and waste of space around your video. Then you've got your background. You can change the background, dynamic backgrounds, whatever. And then, oh wow, that's a painful color. Okay. And then a bunch of effects like borders, corner, rounding, and all those things. So you've got also filters. Some of those filters, they actually work if you bring in a recording file from Camtasia. They will give you some filters for that if they have camera video. So the filter applies to the camera video. So this is one improvement that I've seen on this, where you can now retroactively add rev to your existing videos. And what this does really is just when you click edit in Camtasia, what it does, in addition to opening a new window for no reason, it will practically assemble this project for you. And I had a client this week where they said, I can't seem to be able to turn this off. I don't know why it keeps adding these backgrounds for me and rounded corners, because the rev thing was on. But in fact, all you need to do is just go on the timeline, click on your, this is dynamic fill. I'm going to just click to remove that. If I click on my video, you see on the right-hand side, all of the stuff that it's added to it, like reflection. Okay, I don't need a reflection. I can turn it off or remove it. Then scroll down, look, border. I don't need border. Turn it off, delete it. And then finally grab your video and resize it. So you're back to your original video. So this rev thing doesn't actually change your video in any way. It just kind of pre-assembles your project with those bling bling things around it, right? That's what it does. So I like to assemble my own stuff. And although I record in Camtasia, I will just assemble my own camera in the corner, do all those things myself. So yeah, there you go, Isaac. Thank you for confirming that. So October 1st is the cut-off date if you want to buy maintenance, so you can ensure you have it for the next 5 years or so, if you want to keep it and not switch to subscription. Okay, all right. So let's look at another feature. And should I keep the best for last or what? There is a new effect. There's a new effect called a tile effect. I'm just going to delete my video real quick here. And the tile effect is, you know what, before I do the tile effect, let me show you. So basically they announced also a bunch of new features, new assets, a bunch of new assets in the library. So if you go to media, you go to library, you should find now you've got your Camtasia assets here. This is integrated now inside of the Camtasia interface. So you have previously, if you subscribe to the assets from Techsmith, you had to go and browse on the website to find them and download them and bring them into Camtasia. Well, now, if you go to this library in here, Camtasia assets, you basically just search for what you want. If I want to search for a stock video of a train, let's see if they have anything train. And there you go. I've got a train. You can sort by category, footage, dynamic backgrounds, music. I'm going to go to footage. And there you go. You've got the results coming in from the Techsmith assets. And if you subscribe to the Techsmith assets thing, you will be able to download these. They show you which ones are premium. But there is also a number of free assets. So if you go to this little search icon here, you can filter by free assets only. So if you just want to get free images or videos, click free. There you go. These ones are just 2 of them. Okay. And there's nothing with the train in here. I guess people training. Okay. Let's say flower, something very generic. Oh, they have no flowers. Wow. No free flowers. I don't know. I want to search for something. Here we go. There's a background here. Free image. You grab that and you bring it in. And while it's downloading, it shows you this placeholder thing. And there you go. That's the image that you've imported, or video, whatever it is. So that is now integrated here. You don't have to go to the website to search for stuff. And finally, you've got your library, which is this one on the right-hand side here. And you have a new Camtasia 2024 library. It has hundreds of stuff in here. And, you've got your counters. They said that they added some new counters. I haven't tested all these, but, I did a tutorial a long time ago on how to hack the annotation field to create counters and down counters up, counting down, all those things. Well, now they have been in here for a while, and supposedly this new version has some new ones. I'm not keeping track of all of these, so I don't know if there's any new ones in there. There's also new dynamic backgrounds, which are these ones. So if you grab a dynamic background and bring it in here, you can customize the colors, for example, right? So when you animate, look, they're animated. And if I change this to blue and this one to orange, there you go. You can customize kind of what these dynamic backgrounds do. And they are also loopable. So I guess if you want to use them, you can do. So there's apparently there's a bunch of those in here as well. Now, the other stuff, there's also cursor animations, the whole thing with the cursor and all those things. So it's all in this new updated library, which comes free with this new version. So I wouldn't call these new features, because these dynamic backgrounds and cursor possibility to customize the cursor and stuff like that has been around for a while. Even I think maybe 1 or 2 versions ago, this whole stuff was already there. And I don't know why it's, marketed as a new feature. It's not really a new feature. It's just they keep adding to this library. In my opinion, that's not a new feature, really. Okay, all right. So, and another one that I like, which is I'm going to be done with this new cursor stuff, is you can now add cursor movement to a static image. Okay, so in the past you could only do cursor if you were recording the cursor with using your screen recording function. But now look, if I bring in a screenshot, this is a static image you see in here, a static picture. I'm just going to make some room in here on the canvas for it. All right, so here we go. This is a static picture. There's no animation on it. Look, I'm animating this. I can extend it as much as I like. No movement at all, right? But now what you can do is you go to cursor effects and you get this cursor path creator, which you can add it to this picture like this. So you see this path, you can move it around. So if I want to create an animation where I make the mouse kind of move around on this picture and show some stuff, I can just grab this. Let's say I'm going to show all of these things on the side here. I'm going to put the starting point and grab the ending point. And then you can use these Bezier curve handles to change the curve of the mouse cursor like this. Look at that. And kind of like this. I'm just going to play with it. So you see there is now a cursor attached to that. So right now on the timeline, you see I can change the speed of that, the distance between those 2 points. And watch this. The cursor is now moving on the video, right? And you can see on the timeline, actually, if I make that taller, you see this little symbol here that shows that file or screenshot has a cursor effect applied to it. And I can, of course, go to look, it's playing and it's moving the cursor. If it's too small, you can, of course, scale the cursor from the sidebar like this. You can change the cursor to something else, maybe a hand, and there you go. So you are creating more cursor movement in your on your static picture. So I think that's cool if you're trying to do like a demo or something. So yeah, that's one of the features, I guess. But you could do something similar like this for a couple of versions now. So nothing super, super new. Let me just look at the question there. Do you think, so Square Egg is asking, do you think the Camtasia assets are worth the cost? Do you use them often? I do not use Camtasia assets too much. I may use some of the ones that are built into the library there, but I don't subscribe to the Techsmith assets, which is a monthly subscription, and it gives you a lot of stock media and stuff like that. And last I checked, I may be wrong on this, but I think the media from the Techsmith assets, at least the stock videos and photos, they come from Storyblocks. And because I already pay a subscription to Descript also has that included in the subscription, again, from Storyblocks. So why would I don't want to pay two things. Anyway, so that is my opinion. I like to build my own stuff. In fact, in my membership, I'm going to upload a lot of Camtasia assets, and I like to build my own stuff because then I can create them the way that I like, bullet point things and reusable graphics and all those things, screens, titles. I like to do my own. So I'm not really, but I guess if you go to the media library in here and you find something that you use, I mean, they've got something to do with like YouTube. So I don't even know. Let me see, Boxy subscribe, you've got some subscribe stuff. You can, just drop it in there and there you go. You've got a subscribe animation already built. You can move the arrow over it, the hand, create your own subscribe animation, that kind of thing. So these basic ones, I suppose you could use them, and you can customize some of them like that. Look, changing the colors and things. So it's good for some basic stuff, I guess. All right. They are expensive. So Steve is saying that they are expensive if you don't produce a lot of different types of videos. That's correct. And they need if you needed to do a lot of content, and there are other libraries out there. I mean, there's so many libraries out there. I try to stay away from ones that have with music. Like I try to not use music. Music is one of those things where you upload a video and it suddenly gets flagged for copyright and YouTube freaks out and then take your video down, you lose monetization. All that thing, you have to go and prove that you have a subscription and all that stuff. I've had it with Descript where they would basically claim every video I uploaded. Not on my own channel, some of my client channels videos, right? So I was fed up. I was like, why are you, I already said that I have a license with Descript and I'm paying for this. You know, it's a license, I'm paying for this. Why? So someone at Descript had to intervene and tell YouTube like, oh, this is valid, whatever. And they added my channel to a list of whitelist, whatever. So then there you go. I didn't get it anymore. But it's really, a lot of people start to claim music illegally, or even, just trying to spam and take your income. So in terms of music, that's my opinion. I try not to. I do my own music. I play piano and stuff. So if I really want music, I'll do my own. It's like that guy who built a library and then he was now writing all the books to put them in the library. That's me. Oh, nice tea. Here we go. All right. So thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Carlos, for your kind words. Steve is saying, I've been tempted to get the Camtasia assets, but cringe at the price, so have resisted so far. I really agree. It is. They are expensive for the amount of use that I get out of them. Like you said, if you're not using them a lot to create, let's say, sales videos where you need to hunt down a lot of different videos for a single video to just create B-roll or something, then that would justify a subscription for that kind of thing. And even then, it would be interesting to see which ones actually offer the type of videos that you need, because even with Storyblocks, they claim they have millions of footage and files. But I was trying to do a sales video and I had to add a lot of, they have all the cliche corporate people shaking hands and showing stuff on charts on presentations. But when you get to more detailed, more specific stuff, most of them kind of lack. Depends on what you search for. So it can be a bit tedious, and I can't subscribe to all of them anyway. So there you have it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to another feature. Boom, boom, boom. We're going down the list now. I may want to mention one feature that I cannot show you because I'm on the Mac, but on Windows there is a text-to-speech feature now, which transcribes your recording or your video in real time, or after you finish recording or something, and it just transcribes it and allows you to create captions. Now, I am actually getting to my main point, my favorite feature from this release of Camtasia. Let me show it to you. Okay? Strap yourselves in. You've probably seen this anyway in all the promotional stuff that's been shown around, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Here we go. So this is one of the features where I said Camtasia is trying to catch up to other applications, other apps out there. So you can now add something called dynamic captions to your videos. Okay, so let me show you how this works. You can bring a file in, and if you're using Descript, if you have used Descript, you bring a file in and it transcribes it for you, and you can correct the transcription, and you then create social media clips, whatnot. Well, finally, after many years of waiting and requesting this feature, Camtasia added this dynamic caption. And this is how it works. And actually, let me tell you, I'm going to divulge it here because I actually love it. The way it's done, it's actually better and offers much more customization features than other applications out there, including Descript, which was one of my favorites to do this thing until now. Camtasia has upped the game on that right now with this new version. So let me show you how it works. So I loaded a clip here. It's got audio. You see at the bottom, this clip has audio, and you can see that it's quite short. I'm not going to spend a long, use a long video for this, but it's quite short. It's landscape. Okay. So this is how the dynamic caption works. This is in English, by the way. I hope you can hear if I'm playing it.
I do about 120 to 150 videos a year, public videos.
Okay. So English audio. So watch this. If you go to, and I have to scroll down because I zoomed my screen in, to Captions, there you go. You have this thing here called, it's a tiny window. Sorry about this. I scaled my window so you can see it better. But look at this. You've got dynamic caption styles. And you have this CC in here, which is the classic captions functionality. That's not where you need to go. You go to this one here, dynamic caption styles. And you have some predefined ones. You can see I saved one on here that I created myself. And these are some basic styles that they come with it. And when I drag, you drag one of these and you don't actually drag it on your clip itself. You drag it just on a separate track. And I want you to look down here in this corner, what happens when I drag this. So I'm going to grab one and put it down here. Did you catch that? That was quite fast. My machine is fast. What happened there was Camtasia transcribed the audio immediately. If it's a longer file, it's going to take more than just a couple of seconds like it did for me. You have to adjust the length, but look at this. Now you've got captions here that you can move around. This was another thing. A lot of people have been asking for many years, can I please move the captions somewhere else on the screen? No. Well, now you can. And in fact, even more, you can even add animations to this, and you can have this captions clip just move around the screen as you play. And watch this. It is actually now,
and you know this,
showing the words as they are spoken.
From your channel. I do about 120 to 150 videos.
There you go. Just like Descript, just like Opus Clip, just like CapCut, I guess. I don't know. Loads of applications do this now. So this actually opens up the door for you to create social media clips inside of Descript. I'm saying Descript here because I'm used to it. Inside of Camtasia. And you can also, I'm going to show you how I'm going to create a social media clip from this, but you can also customize this quite a lot. So if you click on this one, you can see on the sidebar, you have all of the classic sort of text functionality that you had before, like changing the font, changing the color, whatever. But if you go down, you have this dynamic caption option here. And this one actually is showing you the highlight option, the one where I'm, right now it says per word, which means I'm highlighting every word, or I can turn it off. I'm going to leave it on now. And here's all the power. And, even Descript doesn't have all of these things. So let me just zoom in just to make it larger for you. There you go. So now with this selected, look, I can change the word color, which is the basic color of the word. Let's say that we want to make that yellow. I'm going to go to yellow. Here you go. Boom. The current word is yellow. Now you can change the opacity. You can change the color of the stroke. If I want to add let's say I'm going to make a red stroke. Oh no, that looks horrible. Let's keep it black. Okay. And then keep scrolling. You've got the word opacity, which is great. This is nice. Descript only has the future words, but in Camtasia here, you can say, I would like the future words to be faded out a bit. Look at this. If you go all the way down, of course, the future words become invisible. And you can also change the color of the past words. So words that have already been spoken, you can make those disappear, I guess. I don't know why we would do that. But anyway, so there you go. You can customize that. Further, let's leave them like this. You can change the background. So I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm not really good with colors today. Let's do a black background, I guess. There you go, black background. And you can scale it. You can make that background quite large. You can change the radius, like the corner rounding. You can have rounded corners for that background. And you can have the time, which time means how long does it take for that highlight to move from the previous word to the next, right? So if I make it very, very, very short and I play it, they're going to just jump instantly. Look at this.
50 videos a year, public videos.
Right? But if I say, let's do a longer time, it's going to slide between the words.
50 videos a year, public videos.
Right? That's nice. Now, here's more. There's more. the easing and scale. Scaling means, look, you're going to make the current word larger. So I guess this is like those Opus Clip ones where they pop the current word. Let me just turn that background off for a second. So no, look, the current word is popping out like super, super, super large. Watch this.
Sometimes I like this video is going to knock it out of the park.
Right? There you go. And then you can have the easing. Easing means it doesn't pop just the middle, just like the main word. It also can zoom the other words around it, like the next word, previous word, and after word. And that, it makes like a wave, like a tsunami wave kind of thing. So look at this. You can actually, and they borrow the color. So the whole thing is like a whole, like a wave kind of thing. Yeah. Do you see? And by the way, I forgot to say, if you don't like that you have just one line, that's fine. You can just make this box larger and you have 2 lines now. Or you can make it a little more narrow and show, less words on the screen. Fewer words. That's the correct word. There you go. So you have done custom. It looks horrible. But anyway, you get the point. And finally, you can change the block back. This is what I like. You can change the black background of the entire block. So look, it's all black now. I'm just going to make that orange for some reason, or blue. There you go, blue, the whole block. And again, you can customize the rounded corners on that as well. And finally, a feature I haven't seen anywhere. Maybe I haven't seen many, but transition. This transition is the transition between the blocks of text, right? So if I'm going to make this, and by the way, here you have access to all of the transitions that come with Camtasia. There's quite a lot. The screen is super long. So you can do sliding bars. I don't know, just choose and play with it. And watch this. As I'm playing and I get to the end, watch, you see, they've got transitions now between the screens of text. I think I've done so many things now that everything is super, super everything. I'm just going to dial it down a bit. They're popping up too much. Okay, let's be more reserved with the effect. There you go. And if that wasn't enough, you can actually add effects to this. So if I say, oh, I want to add a drop shadow to this, look at this drop shadow, boom. So I add drop shadow to the titles. Isn't that cool? I mean, you can do so much stuff with this now. It's so great. Let me just have a look at the questions here. Keep It Moving says, waiting for the CEO of Techsmith to answer my question on long-term commitment and support of the maintenance agreement. 2 months ago, they said they would offer both perpetual and subscriptions. Yeah, I mentioned this at the beginning. You may have joined later because they actually committed to supporting the maintenance plan up to 5 years. And the cutoff date for that, if you don't have it right now, is October 1st this year. So if you subscribe or buy a new version of Camtasia now until October, that comes included with the maintenance plan. And if you then keep renewing that for 5 years, you will continue to get the new versions at the maintenance plan price, really. You're not going to have to switch to a subscription for 5 years. So in my opinion, okay, if they have to move to a subscription model, then that is acceptable in my view, because you get, 5 more years? In 5 more years, lots of stuff can happen, right? So you can still benefit from that. So it's not like saying to everybody who's been paying for years, like I have, yeah, go away. You either subscribe or you're cut off, So I think that was sensible, in my opinion. Okay. Most of this release is fluff, he says. Rev and deeper paid assets integration. At least they finally gave us better captions. Yes, in my opinion, this dynamic caption is the highlight of this version, to be honest. Everything else is nice to have, but, it's kind of, it's nothing new. Not super many features. So I'm hoping, like I said, that they will provide much more feature updates more often. And not wait like every once in a year, just do it once a year in April or June. There's a bunch of stuff, and now go away. We're not talking to you until next year. So that's what I'm hoping, subscription. Yeah, see you, Isaac. Thanks for joining us today. All right, so let me show you quickly how to change. You probably knew this, but anyway, if you go to the top here where you have the project options, you can go to project settings and switch from horizontal to vertical like this and click apply. And there you go. I've made a vertical video. I'm going to grab my video and scale it. There you go. Move my subject in the screen. Move these captions down here. There you go. Social media clips. Let me remove that animation because it moves it up and down. There you go.
50 videos a year, public videos. And sometimes.
And let me show you. The one thing that I forgot to say is this. And you may ask, okay, how does how does Camtasia know what language the audio is in? I don't know. They say multiple languages. I'm guessing they detect it. And the transcription happens on your device. It's not in the cloud. You don't have any hour limits of how much transcription you can do. And it is also possible that you can go and correct words. So like here, for example, look, this word gonna. I don't like this word gonna. I would like to change it. If I want to change it, this is how you need to do it. And it's a little counterintuitive. If you click on the captions themselves, that's not where you change it. You have to click on the audio itself. So click on the audio or video, the one that's been transcribed, yeah? And you have to go to captions and look at this caption transcription at the bottom there. It shows you that transcript. And if I want to change this word, all I have to do is click on it. Look, click on it, it selects it, and I'm going to type going to. And you see the change in real time, basically. There you go. So I've made the correction to this text. And actually, that means that everywhere you're going to use captions now with that file in this project, it's going to remember that caption correction because the transcription actually stays with the file. So if I want to add another set of caption here, dynamic caption, I can just grab another one, put it on a separate line, move it somewhere else. And there you go. Both of them are going to now show the same transcript, right? And one more thing, what I like about this is this, which I wish other apps did this. If you have created a nice style of captions and your, brand colors, all that stuff. So if you're happy with one style, you can easily select it here and go to the top here on the drop shadow setting and click plus. That creates a preset for you. So let's call this one preset 123. I'm great with names today. Here we go. Preset 123, click save, okay. And now if I go back to captions next time in a different project, scroll down or up. Where is it? Did I just lose it? What happened? I thought I saved it. Did I save it? Visual effect. Oh, sorry. I applied it on the drop shadow. My bad. Let me remove that drop shadow. I have to go to the text screen. Here we go. Scroll down, dynamic caption. This is it. And you've got the plus at the top here. My bad. Sorry about that. So click this plus, create a preset 123. I actually saved the preset of the drop shadow back then. Preset 123, click OK. And now you have it here. Look at that. And it shows you a preview, what it looks like. And next time you want to apply it to a new project even. So that's great. So there you go. That's the dynamic captions. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I need to do, because social media clips, you may want to do like some B-roll and some animation and stuff like this. And doing it in other application is always a pain. But you now can do this and have the full power of Camtasia animation right in here, presets, templates, whatever you want to do, all in here. So this is great. I love it. This is my main. Honestly, it makes up for the other stuff that's not really amazing this year. So anyway, let me have a look at the question. Most of the release, okay. Keep it moving, says Camtasia 56 plus tax. That's the maintenance plan, isn't it? So at the moment, 56 plus tax, pay it once a year, and you get the new version. I think that's a great price. And I'm surprised it stayed that low for such a long time because, you're thinking, how many subscribers can they have that pay for this and be able to develop new stuff? It doesn't really work, I think. Anyway, Hello all, thanks for doing this. Welcome, Ted. Keep It Moving says, CEO just replied that the 5 years is correct and that this year will have 10% increase in MA costs for Cam and Snag. Okay, and they will go up each year, but not enough to reach sub costs. Well, yeah, I guess. It's still quite cheap, actually, if you think about it. Yeah, 5 years only. Yeah, I suppose, the 5 years is a good grace period for people to decide, do they want to stay with Camtasia? Do they want to find some other tool? Gesture effects is new, but I didn't see it on my 24. Gesture effects, I believe that was here. Wasn't that here in 2023? I also have 2023 installed. I may have a look. Gesture effects, yeah, you can just bring it here and then it creates that kind of gesture animation. There you go, like that. That's gesture effects for you. I'm on the Mac, by the way. So there is one difference, at least that I know of, between the Mac and the Windows versions, which is the this caption text to speech, which I'm hoping is going to come to Mac as well, which you find it here in the captions. And these are the captions on the Mac. These are the dynamic captions. Well, on Windows, you have a text to speech function. I can't show you this now, but you can speak and it will transcribe for you. I'm guessing it's going to use the same engine that they use here for this. And probably the reason that they haven't added it to the Mac yet is because of the way that maybe the system captures recordings. I don't know. So, yeah. Here we go, another question. Cristi, does Audiate alone offer perpetual license? Well, actually, when Audiate got launched, it was a subscription on its own. I think it was $50 a month or something like that, which I thought was overpriced, massively overpriced for what it did. Considering that maybe, let's say, Descript was, you're paying $30 a month for a Pro subscription, which gives you 30 hours of transcription and a lot of other functionality, whereas Audiate gives you what? Transcription, a bunch of audio effects and whatnot, and a round trip to Camtasia and back, which to me is not enough. Is not enough. I was really wishing, and I would have gladly moved to a subscription model with Camtasia right away if it meant that they integrate Audiate into Camtasia. If that was the case, then yes, man, because that would have caught up to a lot of these other applications by a big margin in a way. So they would have really been a great step forward to have Audiate inside of Camtasia. No need for that round trip, saving, opening, closing all those files, all those things. Text-based editing in here, just like Descript does it and others. Man, that would have been a severe jump forward. However, it was not meant to be, I suppose. I'm guessing they have their reasons. But yeah, that would be a massive step forward for that. So Audiate on its own, I'm not really sure if you can still get it on its own. Probably you can. I'm just going to have a look. Yeah, so Audiate still, you can still get it part of the, you can get it part of the Camtasia Create bundle, which gives you Camtasia plus Audiate. And then Camtasia Pro gives you the screen flow thing, the screencast, I think it is. Yeah. So, that's weird. I didn't think that Audiate wasn't going to be... Oh, yeah, you can still get it on its own. It's £193 for me a year. I don't know how much it is in dollars, though. So you can still get it. And it's a transferable license. Okay. So text-based editing in Audiate. All right. I suppose if you already have Camtasia and you're paying for it some other way, then if you really want Audiate, you're going to have to pay it separately like this. It's $193. Right. Well, I suppose. Okay, let me have a look at the questions. Is there an alternative software for the Mac? You mean an alternative to Camtasia? There is Camtasia for the Mac. I'm showing it to you here on the Mac. And of course, other software that transcribes and creates animation and stuff like that. You can have a look at Descript. Also, there's ScreenFlow, which I have not used, but I understand it's very, very similar to Camtasia. Again, you can record your screen. You know, it all comes down to what you need this software for. If you need screen recording, like I do for my tutorials, for my courses, then honestly, there is no better software out there than Camtasia at the moment. The way that it records is a very good quality recording, high resolution. I always recording 60 frames per second. And by the way, another update this year for Windows in this version is they say it's an improved recorder, which records differently, much more smooth, and I understand it's 60 frames per second recording, which was not the case before this. I think they said that on the Mac, this was the case for a long time now. On the Mac, I record all my tutorials in 60 frames per second. It's really smooth, really nice, and it records everything separately. So this is one of the great ways that the Camtasia records. Your screen is one track, your camera is another, your audio is another track, your microphone, your system sound is another track, and your cursors, the cursor movement is a different track. All of these things are separate, and you can manipulate each one on its own. So that is great, plus that quality. And I basically compared with, let's say, Descript's recording. Descript's recording is much lower quality. You can actually see it, record the same area on the screen with one and the other. Descript is blurry, and it doesn't separate the cursor. Not that I need that much, but in Camtasia it's great because you can scale your cursor and have it larger on the screen if you're doing courses and stuff like that. So I always recommend, and I have a few of my students, when they come to me to teach them Descript, and I find that they actually want to do courses or they want to do tutorials and things like that, I almost all of them convert them to using Camtasia after that because it's much better for that. Descript is for something else. Okay, so yeah, again, it depends on what you need, really. ScreenFlow, yes, ScreenFlow is one of the alternatives. Camtasia's asset library can only be used in Camtasia projects, so I would use Storyblocks directly instead. I don't think, the asset library, if you mean that in Camtasia, when you go to the media library here, then yes, these are features that are built for Camtasia. I believe a lot of them are actually Lottie files. You know Lottie files? I did a tutorial on this a while ago. They introduced this in, I believe, Camtasia 2021 or 2. And Lottie files are like JSON files, it's like vector files. I think they were invented for the After Effects first, but now there's a whole marketplace for them. But these are Lottie files, which you can customize and change the colors and things like that. So Camtasia has adopted that, and now all of these are here for available in Camtasia. But if I add this to my project, and if I go to the media bin, there it is. There's a bell and there's a button trim, right? So it looks like a simple asset, but look, you can customize the color. And what you can do, if you actually save this and go and open it up, it's actually like a Lottie file, which, yeah, not many programs do that. Not many programs support it. Now, if you're talking about the stock library that comes from Storyblocks, that is, or wherever it comes from, I don't actually know if it actually comes from Storyblocks anymore, but these ones, they are nothing more than just videos and pictures, right? So there's nothing special about them. Look, you've got footage, you've got the music, you've got dynamic backgrounds. Yes, they are, again, I think, Lottie files. You've got photos, animations, whatnot, so these are easy to use in other apps, I suppose. But yeah, if they do come from Storyblocks, I also find Storyblocks easier to browse and find what I want because they have a lot of filters and I can look stuff up and find it better that way. So his sales video example needs to make sure you only build it in Camtasia. The license agreement for Camtasia assets is super restrictive. I do like the Snagit assets for better stamps and images. Yeah, I haven't looked at the license, but yeah, I'm assuming if the media comes from Storyblocks, whatnot, they have to abide by that policy first. and then maybe they add their own on top or whatever. I don't know how. You would have to prove that you used one of their assets in your videos and had a subscription active at the time. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how these works, which is why I try to avoid using other people's media if I can, and only if I know that I can actually use it freely. Like, for example, part of my Descript license, I have access to the entire library there from Storyblocks, where I have music, videos, on that is simple to understand. I know it works on YouTube. If you put them on YouTube, you're covered by that license. So that's great. Other than that, I don't know. I can't speak to all of the different licensing platforms. So yeah, anyway, let me just see what else I missed here. So there is the tile effect. I'm gonna just show you that really quickly. There's a visual effect in here, and if you scroll down, it's called tiling, and you can kind of guess what this does, right? So if I have, I'm just gonna delete that video real quick here, and I'm gonna just find a little graphic to demonstrate this with. Just give me 1 second. I hope this works. Nope. Here we go. So I've got this picture here. I'm going to crop it so I can use the crop function to just have the dots. There you go. All right. Simple image. Let me just go back to my screen being widescreen because it's easier to see. Here we go. There you go. So simple image, right? And this is the tile effect. If you apply this tile effect to this picture, watch what happens. It starts to get repeated. And you can control that by dragging on these handles. And there you go. You can basically repeat that forever and ever. And you can also rotate it. And you can scale it. You can rotate from the top. There you go. You've created a tiled background. And this tile can also be animated. So if I add an animation to this whole tile clip, I'm going to add an animation, Shift and A, and at the end of the animation, I'm moving it, so I'm rotating it and just scaling it in a funny way. So now look, there you go, it's animated. And you can even move the center. I don't know, you can just be crazy with this. Scale it, move it around. There you go, that's the tiling. A feature nobody asked for, but now we have it. I can't imagine what I would use this for. Probably just have some kind of logo randomly going crazy in the background there, and I'll put some more stuff on it. It's nice. It demonstrates the speed of the rendering engine, I suppose, because it's rendering so many copies of this object on the canvas at the same time. But there you go. That's your tiling feature. I'm curious what you're going to do with this. You can do like snowflakes or whatnot. So there you go. Let me just check my list here. Feedback and feature request, tile effects. I believe I covered everything I wanted to cover. These are the notable features anyway. There's supposedly a new improved recorder. I don't know if that means just on the Windows side or not. And performance on the rendering, that kind of thing, recording. And there's also the thing which you may have seen before. It is the improvement to the text where you can add an outline, which I showed you. You can add an outline to the text like this. You know, there's your text. Let's make it quite large. Oh, that's the stroke. Sorry, that was the stroke. The size of the font. And let's choose some other font in here. And then you can have a stroke of a different color. It's not letting me select it for some reason. Hey. The interface is glitching for some reason. Yeah, I should probably restart it. I guess I used it for too long. Well then. It happens. Okay, I restarted it now. This is normal life with Camtasia. You restart it often. So let's try again. Annotations, make some room, change the font size, change the color, the font, change the bold, whatever, and let's add a stroke of a white. No, that's not good. Orange. There we go. You have a stroke on your text. And as I realized, you can change the stroke and you can change the stroke opacity and color, but you cannot change the color of the actual text. So you cannot have a text with just stroke and no fill. I know you can do it by actually copy and pasting that or duplicating it, and I can take the stroke off from this new copy that I made, which let's say it's just white, and you can apply the visual effect media matte to it. There you go. And you use an alpha invert. So there you go. Now I have text with just the outline and not the fill. And to prove it, I'm going to go to media and I'm going to load a picture of some kind, free asset only. I'm going to use a footage of this building thing, put it in there and move it to the bottom. It's loading. I know it is. There we go. So as you can see, don't forget to not move it. Command G to group it. There you go. Text with just the outline and no fill. It's a little hack I learned using the media matte effect. You can do the same thing and you can use this as a quick property by merging these two. I wonder if I'm merging them, if they merge. Yes, there you go. Save. And now I can say Cristi. So I've created my own quick property-based and reusable asset. That was easy. So yeah, that's kind of how you do it. If you, I don't know, it's an oversight. Why not let me make the text, invisible? Anyway, before I'm left here alone talking to myself, I wish to thank you all for joining me today. And, if you have questions, let me know. I see that my video might be a little behind. I wonder why. Can you still hear me or not? Oh, it seems like my stream is way behind. Oh dear. Ah, funny. Okay. I thought something happened. I'm so nervous about these live streams. My internet is quite fast, but sometimes it glitches out and I'm like, what's happening with the stream? Is it behind or what? Anyway, if nobody has any more questions, that was my presentation of what is new in Camtasia 2024. I have gone over the most notable changes, really. A big downer is the price change, but okay, I guess what are you going to do? You can't really keep paying and getting free stuff because, not free, but I mean cheap stuff. I think it's cheap considering today's prices and how much it costs to develop software. I'm not defending them or anyway, but if that, like I said, if it means that this new price change means more updates more often and not being tied to a 1-year cycle of new version and just waiting for it for no, with no indication when it's coming and having more frequent, maybe listening to the feature requests, then I think it's worth it. Let's see. What do you think about it? Have you upgraded? Just let me know in the chat. Have you already upgraded to this version or not really convinced by these new changes in here? I use it every day, and I believe if it weren't for this dynamic caption thing and I was prompted to upgrade it and I didn't have the maintenance plan, I probably wouldn't upgrade because Camtasia 23 does pretty much everything I need at this point. I'm not seeing any quality of life, like they call them, improvements. For example, fixing that group glitch where it cuts groups off, or being able to export the markers. I mean, those are some simple features, and that could be probably implemented in like half an hour of developers' time, and I've been requesting them for years, and they're not coming. I don't know if they're coming because we don't know. We don't have a roadmap. So that is my downside for this, is the Camtasia kind of development team is so like buried in the basement somewhere. They're just working on stuff, and suddenly they come out with it. Oh, okay. That's my opinion. I think they're not very publicly transparent with the changes. I wish they signed up for something like Canny, where people can go and request features and vote on them and comment on them, so they automatically see what people want and go and build those. I know everybody's crazy with AI nowadays. Okay, transcription and AI clips and whatnot. Yeah, that's great. But if you're a professional editor, you also want to have control, and you want to have quality of life, performance improvements, all those things. That's what I want to see as well as the shiny new stuff. Anyway, rant over. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't upgraded to Camtasia, I have a link in the description, and there's also a coupon there. You can try that for a discount, Cristi 10. Click that link, see it. It doesn't cost you extra. If anything, you get a discount on it. If not, I recommend you sign up for the maintenance plan. And if you buy 2024, the version from now, you get that included. So I advise you to, if you're planning on using Camtasia longer term, I advise that you sign up for that maintenance plan, because for the next 5 years, it's guaranteed to stay low. It's not going to stay at the same price, but it's going to stay low, much lower than the actual subscription plan that was introduced. So yeah, hopefully that means also we're not going to be now starting to separate features. Like, oh, the subscription people get all the features, and then the people on the maintenance get less features. I hope that doesn't happen. Okay, so hopefully everybody gets the same stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging around with me. Oh, we've gone past the hour already. And yeah, I will try and do more Camtasia stuff. I have a few very high-level Camtasia asset building, editing things planned. I may do them as a course. I may do them as a video. I may do them as a live session. I don't know. But I plan to do Camtasia and Descript live shows. And and also, if you want to learn with me, if you want to join my mediamakers.club, the address is on the screen right now and in the description. That is my private membership, where you can get access to all of my courses, all of my videos, all of my downloadable assets, a bunch of Camtasia ones that you can download and use, like my grids, the flipbook stuff, all those are included in there. And you're welcome to join that and have that. Plus, I have to now refresh all of my Descript courses because they are outdated as of last night. Underlord. Yes. Okay. Anyway, thanks again. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining me for all this hour. That was amazing. I loved it. Thank you very much. See you next time on Wednesdays. That's going to be Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. UK time. I don't know what time it is in your part of the world, but I'm going to announce them. And feel free to sign up to the newsletter where I announce all of these. The link is in the description. It's going to be in the description. If not, it's cotovan.com/newsletter. Very easy to find. Okay, I have to stop. Thank you very much. See you next time.